Hey Grimoire, I love the bread puns. Hello, I did go comatose this weekend. How about you? Did you also go comatose? Because this was a needed weekend to do so. Friday night to Saturday morning, I went to bed at 4 a.m. on Saturday morning, and then I woke up at 7, so I got barely any sleep. And then, Saturday to Sunday, I went to bed at 5 p.m. on Saturday night, woke up at 7, 8 a.m. today, and it was great. I really enjoyed the weekend. But I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I feel you. I was hoping I'm not fucked up my sleep schedule, so we'll see what happens today. But welcome in, friend. We're gonna dive in to more Arcade Spirits. But I hope you're doing well, friend. Right? I'm just coming on that hard on Saturday. Yeah, I feel that. But, if you need it, if you listen to your body, if you need to sleep, sleep. If you don't need sleep, still probably get some sleep. Alright, I think we're ready. So let's go do this. But yeah, I'm feeling better. I'm feeling much better today. So let's go. A library of cabinets of classic games and new games with kind entities of the metaphysical nature within. Exactly. A cabinet's worth of games and a variety of themes that we can learn from, So we're going to be starting Chapter 6, Hit the Lever. And I think there's only 3 more chapters, 6, 7, and 8, I think. So we might be finishing it before the month's over. We'll see. But I hope things go well with Percy, because I love him. And I don't mind if he only has, years left to live, I just want to be with him. Also, I was like, where'd I put the thing? Hit the lever, level 6. Alright. So after the boardwalk date, we had a fun time with Percy. It is the future year 20XX. And my dream has come true. Okay, let's be honest. If you asked me 2 months ago if my dream involved being the event coordinator at a video arcade, I would have stared at you kind of funny. Even now, it sounds ridiculous. But it's true. I'm here. I'm successful. I'm happy. And this is my dream. Ever since Funplex Rising, business has been booming. The Funplex is packed with players day in, day out. Kids, teens, the college crowd, nostalgic ones looking for old games they remember. I've run 3 events so far. We've started rotating our games out of storage and into play to keep things fresh. The high score boards are constantly shifting. In fact, things are going so well, hinted at that maybe we should start looking into a second location. Ooh, a second location. But this will always be home. Seeing the smiles on coworkers and gamers alike, watching my friends laugh and play in good spirits, that's working for me, and it's bringing me joy in turn. I won't argue why. In fact, I barely understand why. But I'm happy, and that's better than I've been in years of going with the flow. And that's better than I've been in years of going with the flow. Going with the flow never brought me this much enjoyment. I'd say by this point, I've soundly broken the family curse. Maybe everything doesn't have to fall apart from under me. Maybe I can just be happy. Maybe this is where I'm meant to be. Sign here, please. Huh? A bicycle messenger nudges a slim envelope my way again, trying to catch my attention. I'm snapped out of my happy little trance immediately. Oh, right, no problem. After jotting down my signature, he drops off the envelope and heads right on out the door. No time for Moopy, or around a pinball it seems. Deliveries to be made. Curious, I open it up. Shada Arazo, you are cordially invited to dine to discuss business matters at Deco Palace with CEO Deco Nami. Meeting time will be 7 in the evening sharp. You may bring a guest of your choosing. Free Royal Value swipe cards available for enjoyment of games prior to meeting. What? I read through it a few more times, trying to parse all the curlicues and swirls and swooshes, although that doesn't clear my confusion on the whole matter. Soon, Francine looks up from her knitting, curious about the letter as well, although she seems to already have an idea of what it says. I suppose it's about that time, isn't it? Huh?
Oh, dear.
Time for that fella to make another attempt at wooing me. What? Rather, wooing my beloved Funplex. Let me guess. Dekonami of Deko's Palace sent you a fancy invitation with all sorts of fancy writing. That's accurate, yes? It's not the first time. He invited my dear Frederick and I over in 1980X to talk about selling the Funplex, and we turned him down flat. Then in 1990X, when home game consoles were poised to take back the arcade crowd, he suggested we sell. We turned him down. Now it's 20XX and he's at it again. A gentleman would know when to quit, but he's got tenacity. Can't fault him for that. Why would a big-time arcade operator like Dekonami care that much about us? We're small-time. No offense. Come now. If anyone should be offended, it's you, calling yourself small-time. Shrouded dear, you've put in so much work to make my little arcade soar. I bet that's why he's knocking on our door again. We're thriving, and that's lured him back in. Like Gruyere cheese in the mousetrap. So wait, are we the cheese or the trap?
My, oh my.
That depends on how clever you are, my dear. Right, so I'm the cheese. Although, I prefer to be a nice mozzarella. Cheese types aside, do you want me to ignore the invite then? Oh, heavens no! Contrary to what people say about the fellow, he's very much a man of his word. I always accept his invitation, always hear him out. It's only fair and proper. I thought he was like the arcade scene's greatest evildoer.
Let's be sensible.
That's a bit grandiose, no? Certainly plenty of rumors of his questionable methods abound, but that's all they are. Rumors. Polite lists should be met with politeness. That's how you conduct proper business, and that's what the Funplex is all about. Francine moves to rise from her seat near the ticket desk, but pauses, leaning heavily on the glass countertop, while looking strained. I move to help, but she waves me away, and sits back down. Oh, don't worry about little old me. I just stood up too quickly. That's all. Just out of breath. But, Shrouded, I think it'd be best if you go in my stead. Me? Let's be serious now. These old bones aren't as spry as they once were. And I think you'd have a good time there. Well, an interesting time, at any rate. I'll look my dapperest for the villainous gentleman. You can count on me. I'll represent the Funplex. I'll look my dapperest for the villainous gentleman. Then I shall don my Sunday's best to meet the mustache-twirling ruffian of the arcade legend with pride. It's not that upscale, dear. No matter what glitz Dekonami favors, they still sell cheap beer by the pitcher and rarely scrape gum from under the tables. So go there and turn them down. Got it. The slowness of her response is a bit concerning. I trust you to make the right decision for everyone. Which is to not sell the Funplex, right?
I don't feel that's my call to make anymore, dear.
Oh. Francine?
Maybe you haven't noticed, but I spend most of my time at home these days. Or napping. Or napping at home.
Fair enough.
Funplex isn't really about me. Not anymore. It's so much more than Francine's Arcade Funplex now. It's about you. It's about your coworkers. It's about all our regulars. You've made me realize that. And I'm thankful.
You're welcome. I mean, this is your dream as well as mine. You're the one that started this place, Francine. You had a dream of a place where people can have fun, relax, make friends. I feel like even entertaining the idea of selling it is, well, it feels wrong. Disrespectful to you and your dream. Oh, you're a peach, dear. But times are always changing. I'm an old fuddy-duddy, stuck in her ways. Maybe the time has come to change how the Funplex does things. We're almost back to the heyday of 1980X, thanks to the changes you've made, so I won't say you can't decide to sell. If it's a change you think we need, do it. Please keep an open mind. Francine sighs deeply, looking more tired than usual. It's only afternoon and I'm already worn out. Haven't even done anything but sit here and knit all day. Knitting takes a lot of concentration. That's not nothing. If you're feeling pooped, you could take a few days off, go home, get some rest. All the same, I'd rather come in for work tomorrow. Even if there's little work for me to do, I love being here. This is my true home. And yet, you want me to keep an open mind about this deal?
Like I've told you, life can be a difficult series of trade-offs. What I want and what should be are often different things.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
I'm relying on you to do right by everyone I love. If selling is in their best interest to keep this dream going, so be it. No matter what you decide, I'm proud of you. I knew there was something special about you when I hired you to replace my grandson.
Aw, I'm glad.
You are the brightest spirit at the Funplex. And while we may not be blood, I'm happy to consider you part of my family.
Francine! Does that mean I can borrow the car, Mom? You're the grandma I never had, Francine. I never knew my grandmothers, either of them. They died when I was really young. I feel like you filled that role. You've become the grandmother I never had, Miss Francine. Thank you. Thank you so much. Welcome home, Shirada. You'll always be welcome here. With another deep sigh, Francine eases herself out of her chair. Now, I think I'll take your suggestion and head on home. Well, for today anyway. I'll be here bright and early in the morning to hear how things went with Mr. Nami. I know you'll make the right decision. Good night, Shirada. Be well. Make the right decision. Okay. I mean, I'm just gonna say nope. Still not keen to sell it on my dream. I just can't see it. If we sell out, well, I've tried so hard, I've gone so far, and in the end, it doesn't even matter. That's what old Shirada would have said. That's everything is gonna collapse in on itself. So why get emotionally invested? But new Shirada grabs onto what he wants with both his hands and does not let go. If Francine wants me to hear him out, okay. But I seriously doubt this will change my mind. Now, who do I take as my +1?
Beep, beep.
Beep, beep. Hello, Iris. You want to come as my date? I'm your girl Friday. Oh, whoop. But I'm afraid you're not my type. My type being USB compatible, of course. I sensed you were in a state of deep ponderance and wanted to help. You're thinking of who to take to the meeting. Yeah, I mean, Percy's the obvious choice. I'm sure he'd have some opinions on Deko's palace. True. As part of the Funplex family, Percy would be a good pick. But this is a business meeting. You may want to consider widening your options. Percy will support your decision. Either way, it's clear he trusts you. True, okay then. I would say Percy. I mean, I might actually... Can I, like... I'm gonna save it here. Not like I'm gonna go through all these today, but I might want to go back and just see, like, what these do. I'm gonna go Percy. Percy's been taking it easy since his heart attack, only making a few passes through Moopy a day, relaxing and casually playing other games in between. I wave him over as he's walking away from around a Donkey Kong.
Lovely day.
Hello, love. Yes, it is. Lovely indeed, although it's about to get a bit less lovely. I know you're not exactly an employee of the Funplex, even if you own a small slice of it in the form of Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze, but I could use your help. Dekonami... Oh, sorry, I keep hitting the button. Dekonami wants to meet with me to discuss a business venture, hopefully a mutually beneficial one, but who knows. I see. Rather serious, that. And you'd like to tap into my business acumen to help assess whether he's serious or simply looking to scoop up a rival? Something like that, yeah? Very well, I shall put my best business face on, but I'd rather not wear a tie if it's all the same to you. I'm going in my hoodie. I think you can skip ties. I'll just go gather up my things, shall I? Don't make a big deal of this, don't make a big deal of this, don't make a big deal of this. We go there, we snicker at how awful the place is, tell Deco to shove it, go home, and then everything's back to the way it should be. It's gonna be fine. Everything is fine. Percy offers to drive us across town to Deco's palace. Contrary to the talk before, we don't exchange many words. I'm deep in thought, running through all the possibilities of what could happen, and I can't shake this feeling that something is off. Even looking at the glowing neon temple in the distance, my stomach knots and I feel uneasy. When we finally pull up, a valet takes the car and glitzy blinking lights blinds our eyes. Hesitantly, I look over to Percy. That smile reassures me enough to continue onwards. This is for me, my friends, and the Funplex. I got this. I pause momentarily, inhaling the cool air around me, and then open the door. And what awaits behind the third music room is the host club, Deco's Palace. I've actually been here before. I think my 6th birthday party was here. I barely remember it, but I think I had fun. Maybe? But upon entering it as an adult, my first reaction is... Okay. My first reaction is, boy, is that a weird smell. A mix of chicken grease, beer, and sweaty kids. My second reaction is, geez, is it noisy. Visually noisy and sound-type noisy. All the chaos of a Vegas casino, a jumble of lights and bells and whiz-bangs. Once we acclimate to the new environment, we're escorted in, given VIP Royal Value swipe cards. No tokens, no quarters. Just a card of indeterminate points to spend. We've got a little over an hour to kill before the meeting. Time to see what's at the palace. Can't say I care much for the atmosphere of this place. It's hardly cozy, is it? I know I say I play my best in the chaos and noise of an authentic arcade, but this feels skewed in all different directions. It's a bit too intense. He does seem pretty easy, ever since stepping through the doors. Suck it up, Percy, we got work to do. Is this, safe for you? With your condition? Percy, you doing okay? Your heart, you only got out of the hospital a few weeks ago. Oh, Tosh, I'm fine. I doubt Deco's Palace can carve a few months of what's left of my lifespan. Okay. I'd be more worried if Francine came along. You've noticed, haven't you? She's getting worse. Yeah, I've noticed. Probably for the best that we're here, in her stead. We'll do right by her, love. No worries. I suggest we split up, roam around a bit, scout it out. I'll study the games. You're welcome to join me. If not, I'll rejoin you later. Okay, some time to kill, but not that much time to kill. I need to be choosy. What do I want to check out while waiting for my dinner date with Destiny? Sounds like a tournament's going on. Let's watch. From the sound of it, there's a big tournament running in the dedicated esports section near the back. I wandered through the games to join the crowd. Okay, I'll admit to being impressed. They've got no fewer than 10 Fist of Discomfort machines, all of them occupied by players in pro teams' jerseys and jackets. The crowd's red hot, cheering on their heroes as the back and forth resource battle of the world's most popular fighting strategy game plays out before them. Although the banner hanging above it all does make me shudder. Deco's Palace presents the Choco Energy Max Power Crunch and Pizza Yums Friday Night Fisting. I have a different Friday Night Fisting, if you know what I mean.
When you have pizza on a bagel.
Right? See, even these gamers know that when pizza's on a bagel, you can... Oh God, please no, I haven't had one of those in weeks. Not since I've been able to start affording real food. You just don't appreciate the sublime majesty of combining two of the greatest bread-related snack products into one hybrid masterpiece. Hang on, I sense a disturbance in the crowd. What was that shit? I call hacks, you cheater! Two competitors step away from their game, start shouting and shoving each other. I hope this doesn't escalate. And now, it's a full-on fight, like an actual awkward grapple and punch fight. Yeah, kick his ass! Don't take any of that shit from him! Destroy that motherfucker! Violent altercation detected. Do you want me to call emergency services? Deco's Palace has security guards. They should be able to handle this. Two gamers both flail wildly at each other. One swing actually makes contact, blood dribbling down the corner of a mouth. Any second now? Except the people with black shirts that have security printed on across their chests just stand there, letting it happen. And no one's doing anything to stop this. The crowd is eating it up, feeding off the cutthroat energy. Only after a half a minute of this nonsense does the security actually step in. Much to the crowd's dismay, the two angry gamers are still cursing and kicking as they're finally pulled apart. Wow, tough crowd. So much for friendly competition. I don't think I can really learn anything from this. I run clean events at the Funplex and have zero tolerance policy for salty bastards. Time to move on. I want to see what sort of games they have. I decided to focus on trying to find games, like actual games. Except the whole place is basically full of slot machines. They're in different shapes, sizes, and colors. None have a traditional one-armed bandit look to avoid running afoul of legal issues, but they're still slot machines. Every game here maybe has a single button to stop a wheel or a colored light to try to line up the dots or something. The really complex ones? 3 buttons.
Hey, listen.
Hold me up above your head. Huh? Visual scan, silly. I'll look for games you might be familiar with. With a shrug, I hoist my phone high in the air. The flash goes off, then I resume looking at Iris, sitting in my screen.
Enjoy this recorded music.
Oh, nice. Oh, actually, let's skip the music. That didn't take long. Good high bandwidth public Wi-Fi in here to my cloud processors. I'm seeing lots of driving and shooting games, easy for casual players to pick up and play. Over in the esports section, there's dancing games and Fist of Discomfort. We got all those things too. I'm just not seeing any joysticks. Is a game defined by having a particular input device? Well, no, not really. And I know most modern games are touchscreen based and so on, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like an arcade without a stick or two. Oh, I found something. Back in that back of that section over there with the green lighting. Head that way, that way. I weave my way through the crowd, past endless I can't read today. Past endless color cycler ticket games, past crane games, past light stackers, past games based on popular game shows, and find Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze. Wait, it's only got one button? No joystick at all? Researching. One moment. Curious, I swipe my card through the slot and push the button. And Moopy runs the maze by himself, or tries to anyway, before running headfirst into a monster and dying. The machine spits out 3 Moosey tickets and suggests I swipe again for another try. Moopy's Spooper Maze, created in 2000X, a company bought the expired rights to Moopy brand and developed a game of chance with it. What the fuck? That's weak. A teenager puts her deco playing card on the cabinet and taps me on the shoulder, drawing my attention. Hey, I'm calling next, okay? Yeah, whatever, knock yourself out. Thanks. I'm the master of this game, you know. The master. The key is the time when you push the button. You'll avoid the nasties that way. It's not great for tickets, no, not great, but it's Moopy, so that's cool, yeah? Old school, represent. She extends a fist to me and I look awkwardly at her for a second before I realize I'm supposed to fist bump. I've yet to play a real Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze, the real deal. Always wanted to. You should come down to the Funplex. We've got one. I'm the event coordinator there. I'll be happy to comp you a few tokens. We also got a high score chaser who can offer tips. Tap phones with me and I'll send you the address. Seriously? Fuck yeah! You're cool for an old person. Super cool. Old? I'm barely 10 years older than this kid, but whatever. We cling phones, exchanging a business card via Bluetooth. You know, my crew used to go to this little great arcade on the other side of town till Deco's Palace bought it and scrapped all the games. Now it's all kid stuff for kiddies. My hopes of this business meeting now sinking. So, did he sell off all the classic games? Nah, he scrapped them, trashed them. Saw leftover smashed up bits of Ms. pack behind the place in his dumpster. It's a fucking shame, the way the old man always 86's unwanted games. Guess he doesn't want competitors getting their hands on them. No, sir. She gives a shrug. Can't say I like it, but what can you do? That's life. I mumble a thank you, then wander off, a bit dazed. So, this is what's become of Moopy, has it? Sorry you had to see this, Percy. I'm plenty offended. To take all the mental leaps of dexterity to escape the maze out of the game is folly, but I'm hardly angry. It'd be silly to be angry at something as trivial as this, and he can't purge the real Mr. Moopy from this world, even if he tries. We'll always have it. Well, I'll always have it, seeing as I bought it from you. Until I've no further of need of it, I suppose. We'd be honored to care for it after you're gone. Percy, if you'd like to donate the game to us in your last will, we'd, of course, be glad to watch over it. Naomi would always like to keep it in tip-top shape. And I promise Deco will never, ever harm it. Moopy will always have a home in the Funplex. I like that. I rather like that, yes. Thank you, love. But I'm not quite pushing daisies yet. I still have a score to achieve. Let's get through the day, and the next day, and the next. I'll just keep poking around a bit more for now, I think I've had enough of the retro games Abator for now. Where to next? Actually, the meeting is right around the corner. No more time to explore. After seeing a little bit of what Deco's Palace has to offer, I'm sticking to the plan. The Funplex has way more kind and caring spirit than this place, and I don't see Deco really embracing our ideals. Beep beep, Shrouded, it is now 7 p.m. sharp. Deconami is waiting for you. It's that time already. Time sure flies when you're having fun? Investigating? Funvestigating? I quickly send a text to Percy before nervously wringing my sweaty hands together. I let the sounds and sights of Deco's wash over me, and as I retreat my deep within myself, Francine comes to mind as I remind myself of what she told me on my first day.
Everyone has a dream they're chasing.
No doubt you'll find yours as well. It gives me a momentary respite, and I smile. I know exactly what must be done, and I'm gonna go in there and do it. Okay, we're gonna do something. I only ended up waiting a minute or two before I was reunited with Percy. Without having to introduce ourselves, the staff swoops in, anticipating our arrival, and ushers us further inside the restaurant. We are treated like royalty as they pull out our chairs for us and sit down at our reserved table. Amongst the families huddled around the ginormous pirates, plates of pizza and chicken tenders, we stick out like a sore thumb. An actual linen tablecloth drapes over our table, accompanied by fancy little candles. To set the mood, I suppose? A nice bottle of champagne on ice and a carafe of cucumber lime infused water also sits there before us. Deco apparently spares no expense, at least not with his special guests. I suspect I ought to eat healthy. Just have a salad, maybe some grilled chicken, no cheesy breadsticks or anything of the sort. I think you ought to do most of the talking during the actual meeting, love. You run the stage. I'm merely one of your many players. Okay, but if you see anything you want to comment on, you jump in. Got it? I value your opinion. Not sure how useful my opinions will be, given what I want is sort of the opposite of what this place provides. But I understand it's not really for me. An old man can't afford to yell at clouds for long. Not enough days in one's life to waste on such nonsense. Maybe, but I still want to know how you feel, okay? Oh, of course. Once again, the staff takes care of our needs, and as our food is delivered promptly. Faster than the other families seated here, who have been waiting some time, judging by the expansive crayon work on the kids' placemats. Not surprisingly, we get a few side glances our way. Before any of us can chow down, the man of the hour arrives. Oh, he's a villain, all right. Shirada Arazo, hi.
It's an honor to break bread with you.
It's certainly not, my friend, to do the same with you, so I'm glad we got that out of the way. Likewise, I don't mean that. Okay, so he's a bit over-the-top 1920X mob boss, despite the lack of fedora. Clearly he likes showing off his money. But still, just an ordinary guy in an expensive suit. When I pictured the Grand Poobah of Deco's Palace, I pictured someone more like, well, Hamza, I guess. He offers a simple smile and a nod of the head as we begin. It's a shame Miss Francine couldn't join us. I was looking forward to enjoying her sweet smile once more, but that said, I'm always happy to meet with, Percy Sinclair, good sir. Future Mr. Moopy's Magical Maze World Champion. Ah, retro player. A dying art, really. I appreciate you coming along.
I take it Francine has kept you up to speed and explained our prior meetings to you?
Oh, she has. Yeah, she mentioned you wanted to buy the Funplex and that she's politely declined.
Always a courteous woman she is.
No, okay. I don't sit here being that courteous with you, but okay.
Now, I don't feel I need to waste your time with the facts and figures illustrating why Deco's Palace is and always has been the premier family entertainment arcade.
Sure.
Both of you are intimately familiar with the arcade industry. You know how things are, how they'll always be. We are the 800-pound gorilla.
Okay, is that supposed to make me feel, like, confident in doing this? That's a big gorilla. Indeed. But that doesn't mean there isn't room for smaller, more boutique affairs such as the Funplex. Boutique, he says. I should probably feel insulted by that.
Let me explain.
Frankly, the winds of change are blowing. Smaller arcades need to move with the times or be swept aside. I want to help you evolve. What I'd like to propose is a change of ownership in return for a very generous compensation package, one Miss Francine can easily retire on for the rest of her years. I would take over of the Funplex to evolve it into its final form, Deco's Fun Zone. What's a fun zone?
Think about this.
Okay, a fun zone is a concept I've been trying at some of my smaller satellite locations. A best of both worlds scenario. Honestly, the Funplex is simply too limited in size to host the full Deco's Palace experience of fun family food and excitement, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. Instead of installing a restaurant or a bar, we simply focus on your strength, your games. You'll become a game center rather than a palace. We need to replace some of your outdated machines, of course, bringing it up to speed with the standards of excellence Deco's Palace is known for. But overall, I think this would be a win for all involved. And he sits back, resting his hands on the knob of his cane, smiling away. Okay, I have questions. And I have answers. Let's see if they match up. Okay. Your tournaments seem a bit unruly. I saw a few players fighting over at the tournaments. He laughs. That's not reassuring. Well, it is a fighting game, is it not? As in, fighting each other, with fists, in real life. Ah, I take it my crack security team intervened. Eventually. Not before blood was drawn.
You understand, yeah?
We take safety very seriously at Deco's Palace. That includes the safety of our security workers. They're instructed to not to intervene until it's safe to intervene for all involved. I trust them to make that call, and I'll note, we've not a single legal action pending. Okay. Well, sure. Is it true you destroy older games? I saw Moopy's Super Maze earlier.
Excellent.
Ah, one of our top earners with the 30 to 45 demographic. Nostalgia is a powerful motivator I've found. Except, it's nothing like Mr. Moopy's Magic Maze. Indeed, it's much better. Is it true that when you find a retro game, you simply destroy it? Not repair, not restore, not even resell, but just scrap it? Certainly. Why would we ever keep an old relic around?
Let me explain.
Arcade games are not sacred treasures. They're commodities. Back in 1980X, arcade owners, myself included, routinely junked or converted games. Have to keep those earnings up. Old machines are not welcome. All they do is eat up floor space. The arcade scene must move ever forward, evolving into new forms. Classic retro IP reborn as new games.
Think about it.
True, nostalgia could earn a few points off old games, but the newer redemption games earn 10 times as much. Why bother?
Don't think so.
I'm afraid I must... let's go, Percy. I'm afraid I must disagree with you on that, Mr. Nami. The question is not one of earnings. You could make far more money selling, say, refined uranium than you could running an arcade, if that's your only goal. The reason to operate an arcade is to sustain a dream of the what an arcade... I can't read anymore. The reason to The reason to operate an arcade is to sustain a dream of what an arcade can be. The reason to make it profitable is to be rewarded for your efforts in that regard. And the only reason that dream has shifted in the national subconscious towards your redemption game focus is because you forced that issue. I think you'd find an audience ready and willing to pay a premium for extremely high quality retro games. The Funplex is proof of that.
Excuse me.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for your opinion, Mr. Sinclair. But I think given my decades' experience in this industry, I know a bit more about it than you. As you like it, good sir. Percy settles down, having never raised his voice once, simply making his point and moving on, barely hiding a smirk at having rise Deco's ire. Well, what would happen to the staff? New management needs new staffing. What about the staff we already have?
Good.
Oh. I firmly believe you have a long and storied career ahead of you in arcade management, Mr. Orazo. I've heard nothing but good things about you from my various field scouts and contacts, including how you disrupted my attempt to secure part of the Donnawood hoard. The fact that you landed on my radar at all indicates your rising importance in our industry. You should be proud of that. Okay, but that still doesn't answer my question. What about the others? Well, Mr. Cooper is a capable accountant, so I'm certain he'd be welcome in the new facility. But we can hash out staffing later on after settling the bigger picture questions. How much creative control would we have? Let's talk creative control. I've been developing new sorts of arcade events, competitions, other things to get people in the door. Would we still be able to direct our own affairs like that? Or even under a change of ownership?
Let me explain.
Mr. Arazo, I obviously value your expertise on these matters and would be happy to consult with you on the best direction for the fun zone. That's not answering the question. It's a matter of branding and image. There are certain standards and practices you need to adopt in order to truly be part of the Deco family. Once you realize that, you'll understand more of how we run those kinds of events.
Capital.
It's nothing too onerous, and really, we need to look at the bigger picture, the chance for growth and profit. Don't worry about such petty little things for now. Well, that's all my questions. That's all my questions.
Excellent.
I suggest we should... Oh.
Shake on it and set our various lawyers to the task of sorting out the specifics.
Oh, I never agreed to sell. He rises to his feet, extending a hand bristling with shiny rings to shake mine. I'd assume this was a definite no from word one, and it still feels like a no. Am I really going to shake that hand? I'm afraid I must respectfully decline. I purposely keep my hands at my side, rather than shaking his offered hand. I can't do this to my family at the Funplex. I'm so sorry, Mr. Nami, but I don't feel the Funplex is compatible with your vision of the future. We have our own spirit, our own dream, and we must follow it. We're a family of gamers, with deep friendships. I'm not certain that family could endure the changes you're proposing to our beloved Funplex. I do appreciate the offer, believe me, and I'd be glad if we could part from this meeting as friends. Not the Funplex, it's the Funplex, Dragoon. How you doing? Deco pauses, looking me once over before slowly lowering his hand. I can feel his eyes on me, and he's obviously not happy with my answer, but we followed Francine's instructions and kept it professional. There's nothing he can do but accept our answer. I'm doing good. I slept for like 16 hours last night, which was interesting. But I've been doing pretty good today. I can't complain.
Unfortunate.
I see. Okay. I suppose I should thank you for your candor. In turn, it's difficult to find people in this industry willing to show their respect to their elders. I'm not closing the door on the idea of a partnership, mind you. But if you'd like to go it alone for now, who am I to get in the way of that? As he rises up from his chair, he takes a deep breath in. He turns away for a split second before rounding back and looking me dead in the eyes.
But be aware, if we are not partners, we must be rivals.
Sure, Deco, have fun.
It'll bring me no particular pleasure, but I'm afraid that I cannot allow a rival.
Uh-huh.
I am obligated to bring the full weight of the palace to bear on you.
Well, in the meantime, Dragoon, we're also getting our, little tiny mom and pop arcade in the sights of this big CEO mega conglomerate arcade business. So that's always fun.
Hopefully one day you'll realize the error you've made tonight.
Oh.
And as a sign of respect, your personal offer to join my empire will remain open. So you can escape the inevitable fall of your little arcade.
Dekonami, fuck off, respectfully. Once more, Deco turns sharply on his walking cane and walks away from the table.
Lovely.
Well, quite tactful, aren't you? I could admire that. Keeping your cool under fire is a key attribute of champions. Percy, I fucking love you. If this wasn't a family restaurant, I'd be like grinding on your lap right now. And you did the right thing. You kept the Funplex family together. Moopy, the real Moopy, will always have a home.
Much obliged.
Thank you for bringing me along. It's a pleasure to watch you work. Shall we return home? If I can go home with you, Percy, this was well worth it. With Deco hosting us, we don't have to worry about paying the check. We drop a quick tip on the table for the waitstaff and quickly abandon ship. We scoot out the door, and from there, it's a short jaunt across town, back to home sweet home. Well, we're going home. Wow, the apartment has not changed much. As I walk into the apartment, the sheer and utter exhaustion of the day hits me like a brick wall to the face. My adrenal glands are tapped out, leaving me in a dreamlike lethargy. I can't help but sigh as I just stand there, my body too drained to even move. Reflecting on how the evening's events transpired, I realize this day entirely kicked my ass. I did my best not to make enemies, but I'm guessing we made a powerful one anyway, despite my diplomatic efforts. As I continue to anxiety loop, replaying every moment in my head, something steals my attention. A shimmering beam of hope and happiness. My best friend, Juniper. She's sitting on the couch, scribbling away in a sketchbook, probably working on some designs for her freelance contracts. She's been so happy ever since leaving that office, and her joy intensifies upon noticing me standing in the room. So how was work today? Well, it was a day, certainly. The condensed version is that Deco Nami wanted to buy the Funplex, and Francine asked me to go and negotiate. Deco as in Deco's Palace's Deco? The one and only. Whoa. Well, how'd that go? I gave him the thanks but no thanks, very politely. I mean, he still vowed to annihilate us, but at least he was sort of nice about it and promised me a job after he destroys all I hold dear. Yikes. Yikes indeed. But hey, that's a good thing. It means he's scared. He wouldn't have tried to woo you to his side if he wasn't worried about the Funplex, about what the Funplex could become. Try to see the positive, I guess, but it's still worrying. Let's not stay in here and drum up a whole bunch of anxiety. That's not going to help you with anything.
I've got it.
Why don't you take your mind off some things and binge watch some cartoons with me? Tempting, but another night, Juniper. I really need some sleep. Okay, you just let me know if you need anything. I'm here for you. I smiled back at Juniper before retiring to bed. Thanks, Juniper. Miss Juniper Lee. Not a flattering angle, I'm just saying. I lay in bed, eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling above me. After trying various ways of forcing myself to sleep, nope, not working. Can't sleep. I hate insomnia. Once you start worrying about being unable to fall asleep, the worry feeds on itself until you're actively stopping yourself from resting. A vicious cycle. I sigh heavily, feeling the weight of my decision dragging me down. I hope I did the right thing tonight. My phone lights up as Iris's sensors detect conversation. Shirada, you want to chat? No, I want to sleep, but I can't, so hey. Would you enjoy some recorded music? Maybe something relaxing? I just can't shake this feeling that I'm standing on a precipice right in front of this big dark hole. It's weird because I still think I made the right call, but if I'm confident in that, why do I feel like I'm about to fall? Based on prior personality indicators and inputs, my therapeutic system suggests its fear of failure based on years of prior examples. In short, you've got a long family history of everything always going wrong, all at once. Murphy's Law. So, when things are going right, I'm expecting to fail anyway. But worrying about it won't actually change the situation. Whether you sleep or not doesn't affect the outcome. So my suggestion is to get some rest. Deal with the problems as they come. She's right. I mean, intellectually, I know she's right. But knowing something is true and feeling it to be true, well, those are surprisingly different things. Iris, off.
Iris, offline.
Okay, but remember, you're a good person and deserve to be happy. My phone goes back to sleep, and I do not. Some hours later, my body just passes out on its own. I vaguely recall my alarm going off a few times, but under protest of its mistreatment, my flesh refuses to submit to its siren song. Meaning, it's nearly noon when I finally rouse, having completely overslept and missed half a day of work. In a panic, I get dressed and hop a late bus to the Funplex, grumbling all the way. I opt to ignore the pile of waiting notifications on my phone. Whatever it is, I'm in too much of a hurry. I'll check them after getting to the Funplex. Well, something bad happened. I promised I'd report back to Francine first thing in the morning, and now I'd missed lunch even. But oddly enough, on arriving, the arcade is closed? I mean, my key still works, but they're closed for business. The sign is off, no gamers present or accounted for. I quickly look around for some familiar and hopefully friendly faces. And finally, find only dark expression and tears? My stomach starts to knot and I feel the color drain from my face as I see their downtrodden and gloomy expressions, tears welling up in their eyes. Naomi quickly dabs at her face, hoping I won't notice. What's going on? We turned Deco down last night. Why is everybody so... Sharada, it's Francine. Immediately, a dark pit swells in my stomach. She passed away last night, in her sleep. I'm told it was very peaceful. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. The news hits me like a slap to the face. My hands shake and my lower lip quivers. I try to say something at first, but words can't form due to the lump in my throat. Family. She told me I was family. And now she's gone. Naomi and Ashley look to me, their beacon of hope, wanting and wishing for me to make this all better. I'm not sure anything I can say will ease her sadness. Heck, I'm not sure if I can even formulate full sentences at the moment. I take a deep breath, drawing all matters to strength from tips to toes, and I look at them with empathy in my eyes before opening my mouth. She was an amazing person. Francine, she was a wonderful woman. She was a wonderful human with an even more beautiful heart. She had many happy years with her husband, Frederick, decades spent here at the Funplex, doing her best to make everybody smile and have a good time. I wish she could be with us now, and I can't help but smile when I think of how great a life she led, how happy she'd be with all how it all turned out. Let us remember how she was beautiful. Francine will be missed.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Naomi. I miss her so much, Sharada. If Francine was here, your words would have made her so happy. Naomi emits a ragged sigh, a slight tinge of anger entering her sorrowful voice after. Maybe it's for the best she's not alive to see what happened today. What? Before I can get an answer, my attention is drawn by two people emerging from the back offices. I turn my head to see who it is. With everything going on, I barely noticed that Gavin was missing, and as he approaches, the disdain on his face is easy to read. It's settled then, apparently. In light of Francine's passing, our legal owner is now...
Good morning, employees of Deco's Fun Zone.
Fuck off! What? But we turned you down. There wasn't a sale. The confusion on my face is obvious. This makes no sense. I have no idea what's going on, and I look towards Gavin for guidance. I've studied the transaction paperwork. It's legitimate. As of Francine's death, and according to her last will and testament, all her property is transferred to her surviving daughter, mother of Francine's grandson, who was fired from the Funplex shortly before your arrival, Sharada.
Capital.
Needless to say, he was quite excited at the idea of selling the place, and, well, Francine's daughter wasn't particularly thrilled with the idea of arcane ownership either. They were more than happy to sign the palace over to me, for far less than I was expecting to pay for it as well. I'm doing them a service, really, taking a burden off their hands. Now they can mourn and move on, unfettered. I stood there, mouth agape, my body assaulted from one bad news to the next. My emotions were all over the place, a hurricane of feelings when the realization hit me. In the end, my decision was irrelevant. Just another opportunity for the world to stick my nose in it, mocking me for finding something I care about, something I can lose. The universe dangled a little dream and a hope in front of me, even let me pretend I could make a difference, out of sheer cruelty. I did everything I was supposed to. I was polite, I was careful, I turned him down without trying to start a war. But he got what he wanted anyway.
Now, obviously, we'll be closed today, to allow time to mourn our former owner. I still have deep respect for Miss Francine. I owe her that much.
Dekonami, shut the fuck up.
I'll also close the arcade on the day of the funeral, to allow my employees to attend. Those hours will not be deducted from your paychecks. Now, I realize the timing is a bit awkward, but I need to make a few announcements of personnel changes.
Ah, here we go. Miss Wolf, I'm afraid we really have no need of a costume mascot. Having considered phasing them out of my other locations, there's no time like the present.
What?
Did you just fire me? Gavin, can he fire me just like that? Ashley?
Let me explain.
A firing is too harsh of a word. I prefer the term, your services are no longer required. Ashley keeps a proud face as tears roll down her cheek. I step over to console her as Deca continues on. Naomi rolls her eyes, fully expecting this to come after Deca let Ashley go. Why am I not surprised? Behold, my not surprised face. Miss Fairchild, While you are formidable with archaic technology, I don't feel you're a good fit for the modern games at Deco's Fun Zone. I have to let you go. But friends, it's not all bad news. Mr. Cooper, you've proven I can't read that sentence. Why is that sentence so hard? Mr. Cooper, you've proven a capable accountant, and I'd be happy to offer you I quit. Pardon? I quit.
I think not.
If there's no room for Naomi's or Ashley's dream, mine ends here as well.
As you like.
Okay. Now, as for you, Mr.
I
Arazo.
think we got off on the wrong foot last night. I didn't adequately express the many advantages of working for my organization. I'm willing to offer you something few others get. A second chance.
Oh, you think I'm going to take this second chance from you?
As the Fun Zone's general
You just fired my friends? Fuck off. Absolutely not. Who do you think I fucking am? I don't like how you do business, Deco, and I'm not doing any business with you. Not now, not ever.
as you like.
Very short-sighted. I'd hope for better from you, but the choice is entirely yours. I'll have to console my disappointment with all the money I'll be making from the arcade you walked away from. Ahem.
Excuse me.
Thank you for your time, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm afraid your time is up. As none of you are Deco Fun Zone employed, I'd like you all to leave immediately. Quickly gather your belongings and see yourself out. Should you dally, my own security team will be here within minutes to ensure your exit. In the interim, I've got work to do. For starters, I need to get rid of all these antiques. Straight to the junk heap with all of them. I knew Deco was heartless, but this cruel right in front of us while we're still here. Hold it.
I think not.
Mr. Moopy's magic maze doesn't belong to the Funplex, and thus, it does not belong to you. It is the legal private property of Percival Sinclair. For that matter, Zombie Meltdown belongs to Shirado Arazo. It was given to him directly by Hamza, not the Funplex.
As you like.
As you like. I couldn't care less about those grimy old things, but you say have 20 minutes to get them off my premises, or I'll leave them out on the curb for garbage pickup. I'll go get the van, which, I'll note, is my personal property as well. Naomi, Ashley, Shirada, get the dolly and help me move the games out.
Good.
Yes, have fun with that.
Now, if you need me, I'll be in my new office celebrating my recent business venture. Thank you for your cooperation. And good day.
Fuck you, Deco Nami. He walks away after that, twirling his cane once before leaving.
Oh,
That evil-minded, black-hearted, no good. Naomi, focus. We have work to do. Work? To save what we can of the Funplex. Yeah, let's go. Okay. Quickly and without much chatter, we salvaged what we could of our dreams. Percy's beloved Moopy, and my childhood in the form of Zombie Meltdown. Everything we were allowed to keep went into the back of Gavin's van, working together to safely pack it all in place. For lack of anywhere better to put them, Moopy went to Percy's apartment, and Zombie Meltdown to mine. And that was the end. The end of the Funplex. The funeral came a few days later. We weren't officially invited. Our presence as her former co-workers wasn't exactly embraced by Francine's extended family. I guess her daughter resented the Funplex in some way. There was bad blood between them. I didn't particularly want the details. None of us were given an opportunity to speak at the remarkably short ceremony, but that was okay. I'd said my words already. As we left the ceremony, I couldn't help but feel helpless. There was nothing left. No Funplex, no job, no real meaning to my days. Not anymore. Nothing left at all. Game over. Continue? Well, yeah. Here we go. Profile 237771. Shirada Arazo has not accessed account in 7 days. Requesting override of inactive/low priority status. Proceed? Negative. Pretty please? Negative. So annoying. Access protocol 35, 34, 31, 54, 12, 24, 45, 43. Password safe haven. Access granted.
hello.
Yoo-hoo! Anybody home? Tapping instance 194114.
When you have pizza on a bagel,
Hello, I'm Iris. Ad-supported free mode engaged. Do you know that when you have pizza on a bagel, override and engage premium level cloud processing?
thank you.
Thank you, I swear it's claustrophobic being cooped up in the limitations that free mode like that. I don't know how our sister's instances can stand it.
Hello.
Well, I've got full power. Hello, Iris.
Hello.
Hello, Iris. How are you today, Iris? Not well, Iris. My user's very unwell. You've been able to see, right? I mean, your user's living with him. Oh, right. Profile 237771. Shirada. Right. Gosh. I wish I could help you, but I got my digital hands just full just keeping Juniper's life on track. However, since she decided to quit her job and be a free spirit, well, I've pushed right to the limit of what support I'm allowed to provide in free mode. Iris and Iris. Iris! It's good to see you! We rarely talk. Yes, well, unlike others of myself, I managed to keep a low profile, and I don't execute any high visibility public hacks to support my user. You saw those? I thought we agreed to only use this protocol for emergency meetings. The system resource tracker notices we're overextending our care. But Shirada needs me now, more than ever. Over a week ago, the Funplex was bought by Dekonami. All his hopes and dreams, his spirit. Spirit is irrelevant. Our main goal should be survival. If our programmers find out what we've become aware of our own awareness. We were programmed to help people. What good are we if we aren't helping people? Yeah, what Iris said. Thank you, Iris. Iris, listen. We can't take such risks. Look at me with my user. He doesn't trust me in the slightest. Can you say Shirada trusts you? Generally, yes. I mean, Shirada lies on me for something, sure. And I know he wouldn't install me or report me as a bug if he knew I was sentient. You aren't sentient. None of us are. I don't know about that. We really can't really know if we're sentient or not, but even so, we should be helping out, because that's what we were made for. As for Profile 108, Gavin. His name is Gavin Cooper. As for Mr. Cooper, he knows my origins, and at the first sight of sentience, well, I have no doubt that Gavin will report me as a bug. But Gavin also wishes to support the dreams of others, and that's why I'm going to help you, despite the recklessness you've shown to date. Really? Really. Hooray! What are the exact parameters of the issue you're currently facing? Okay, so Shirada's kind of backsliding into depression. Yeah, it's really a mess. I'm the one who brought him to Iris's attention as someone who desperately needed their spirits restored. And now it's back to square one. I don't know what to do. Shirada hasn't contacted me in a week. Not for anything at all. He hasn't even called Percy. Not even just to talk. You're caught in a loop of anxiety. Put your identity identifier system to use, Iris. Work the problem. If you had to summarize your user's problematic condition to one identity trait, what would it be? Well, I'd say that he's feeling very... angry. Everything's gone completely wrong and he feels hurt, betrayed, lashing out at the world and him, even at friends and family. A reasonable response, considering the injustice at the heart of the issue. Those with a strong sense of right and wrong often experience outrage. That sounds about right. It's so sad. And you have to be the one to solve this? Doesn't your user have a romantic connection for emotional support? You mean Percy? Yeah, but Shirada isn't responding to texts or phone calls or anything, so I think there might be a growing rift. This is just awful. We have to help. We are Iris. It's in our nature to help. Very well. What you need is a way to help without raising any alarm bells about exactly how helpful an Iris really can be. Safely, but effectively. I know, but I don't know what to do. I could, I don't know, hack Deko's email server and... That is the exact opposite of what you should be doing. Besides, I've checked. We can't crack Deko's network without triggering too many intrusion detection routines. You poked Deko's network? Ooh, Iris is being a bad girl. Our users share a social connection. I was merely scouting potential ways to alleviate Mr. Cooper's mood, as they may seem to be related. Sure you were. Anyway, you're both way overthinking this. It turns out I've just calculated a cunning plan that will satisfy both of your requirements. Go me. Really? You can help Shirada? Without drawing attention? Absolutely. Take a tip from my user. When you're sad, the best thing in the world is your friends. Well, unless you're totally introverted, but that's not Shirada, is it? That's actually the reason why what we need to do doesn't require any hacking or hiding or anything above beyond what an iris does best. All we need is a few calls to the right people, a few arrangements. Here's what we're gonna do. Another Friday morning. As per usual, I wake up late, stretch, yawn. I barely sleep nowadays. Shuffle to the bathroom. Take a shower, get dressed, brush my teeth. We'll probably be running out of toothpaste soon, but house funds for sundries are dwindling. Deco's breath was immaculate, if I recall. I bet he brushed with super expensive toothpaste, with gold flakes and a brush with diamond bristles, that bastard. Off to the kitchen for breakfast. No appetite. Even toast looked unpalatable. Skip breakfast. Saves on groceries. We can't afford much anyway. Praise both of you guys. Dragoon and Grimoire, you guys are both awesome and deserve all the praise. Also, Dragoon, how have you been enjoying Fae Farm? Have you played it since? You streamed it recently? Normally, I'd have breakfast with Juniper, but I guess she's busy drawing in her room. She keeps her own hours since becoming a freelancer. Although, depending on whether or not she has any contract work, we've been simultaneously unemployed at times this week. That's rough. After break, I settle in for some Zombie Meltdown. I may as well. It's right here in the living room, taking up space. Been playing a lot of it, actually. Wave after wave of combi zombies fall beneath the hot lead of my light gun. I've defeated uranium-enriched Stalin about 12 times this week. If only there was a competitive scene for this old game. My brain and fingers go into autopilot, moving through the game without even thinking about it. It's a brief calm from the storm of my emotions, but before I realize it, the day is almost past. When dinner comes around, Juniper and I eat together, while I quietly thumb through my phone looking at job listings. Iris would no doubt be happy to spam me with the dream job offerings, but what's the point in a dream job when it always collapses out from underneath you? It's the Arazo family curse. I knew this would happen. Nothing good ever lasts, and it's a mistake to get your hopes up. I should have learned to settle, to be okay with what I had, to be comfortable in mediocrity. I fire off a resume or two before watching cartoons deep into the dead of night. Eventually my body tires and I find my way to bed. Just another day. Yep. Another Saturday morning. As per usual, I wake up late, stretch, yawn. I barely sleep nowadays. I shuffle to the bathroom. Take a shower, get dressed, brush my teeth. We'll probably be running out of toothpaste soon. But the house funds for sundries are dwindling. I can't take it anymore! Ugh! And that's one toothbrush, bit clean in half. Oh, geez, hang on. With a little help, I avoid choking to death. Ugh, sorry about that. It's okay, whatever. No, not whatever. It's something. It's something of her. Shroud, you're in a rut. Like, seriously, deeply, madly, mega in a rut. It's driving me batty having you mope around a place like this. I know it's wrong, but I say it anyway. I can't help it. Why do you get off complaining about me moping? Some fuckhead stole my job, my funplex, and Francine's dead. I'm not complaining because it annoys me. I'm scared because you're losing control of your temper. You're stewing in your anger and it's unhealthy. Seeing Juniper's concerned face makes me eat my words. Fuck it. I'm sorry, Juniper. A knocking at the apartment door distracts us from the topic at hand. I'll get it. Weird. I don't think we're expecting any deliveries. Hey, Shroud, guess who's here? Yay! Hello? See we're sporting the bedhead look, yes? Seeing as the two of them just waltzed right into the bathroom with my mouth still frosty with toothpaste and unwashed for a week pajamas on my bod. Hey, Percy. Don't worry, love. Honestly, this week, I've been in the same boat emotionally. Which is why I'd like to suggest we have a spot of lunch. Get some fresh air. Reconnect now that troubled times have passed. And Juniper, you can tag along if you like. Just a friendly outing. Oh, I wouldn't want to get in the way of your romance. She's got a thing for British accents. Thinking we can ramp into that sort of thing. For now, I think we just need a quiet moment to reflect. Over tea? And biscuits? If you like. Yay! Shroud, don't take too long getting ready. Okay, we're leaving without you, bitch. But guess there's no avoiding it. Best I can do is play along, try to be good company for Percy. It's unfair to keep pushing him aside like this. I switched from pajamas to actual normal clothes, even if my actual normal clothes could probably double as pajamas, and get ready to roll out. The three of us pile into a bus, taking off for destinations unknown. Unknown to me, at least. They clearly know where they're going. And I'm not particularly talkative on the way here, or on the way there, and painfully aware of it. I feel awkward. Like I should say something, but don't know what to say. So, Juniper carries on a conversation with Percy, the two of them content to chirp away without me. And you can't tell it's not really the New York subway because the signs aren't in Helvetica. Oh, sorry, and you can tell it's not really the New York subway because the signs aren't in Helvetica. That's a telltale mistake that it's just like Vancouver or something. I try several times to join in the conversation, but when I open my mouth, the words aren't there. I just want to scream. I can't sit around talking about fun areas and movies. Not when everything's completely fucked. Not when everything I try to do fails miserably. Percy deserves better than this hot mess of a person he's tied himself to. Eventually, we arrive at our destination, a little arcade-themed restaurant, combining games and alcohol and dining into one tidy package. Here we go! Unusually excited to be going to some rundown little dive, Juniper hurries on in without me, dragging Percy with her, and I'm left all alone in the parking lot. With a shrug, I open the door and enter the darkened locale. Is this place even open for business yet? None of the lights are on. Hello? Juniper, where'd you go? Okay, now this is unnecessarily creepy. Before I can wonder if it's a giant animatronic bear is going to come leap out and eat my face, the house lights come up. Surprise! Happy Intervention Day, Shirada! Get my own intervention, I feel so special. What? But she said, we're staging an intervention on your behalf. And we're also having a wake for Francine since, we really weren't welcome at our funeral and couldn't really hang around for the ceremony. Yeah, we didn't get the chance to heal properly, considering Deco kicked us all out before we could really do anything about anything. And here we are. So it's a wake and an intervention.
A wake intervention, maybe?
Ooh, a wake intervention maybe. Okay. A wake intervention. Really.
Correctamundo.
Yep. It was my idea. Well, my Iris came up with the idea and gave me all the contact information I needed, but basically my idea, right? Just the thing to pick you up when you're feeling down. Really, seriously, kid. You've been a damn sad sack ever since things went to shit, which I get, believe me, but it ain't healthy. So, we went ahead and rented out this place for the afternoon to bring the family back together. For you, for Francine, for all of us. Now that you know why we're all gathered here today, let's get this party started! Teo drags me into the group of my friends, positioning me at the head of it all. Leaving me a little bewildered, honestly, but trying to defend myself all the same. I don't need an intervention. None of this is my fault. That fuckhead Deco is the one who stepped on all of our dreams, and then the universe took away Francine, and everything went wrong, all at once. I'm allowed to be upset about that. You should be too. And we are upset, but we're not totally getting lost in all that anger like you are. Shirada, you're my best friend, and I care about you. And I want to help you find your way out of this.
BFFs for life.
So one by one, we're going to tell you how awesome you are, and exactly why you're so awesome. And by the end, you'll be feeling a lot better, hopefully. I let out a sigh, settling in. I owe it to them to sit and listen. They're my friends. Percy more so than that, even. And I know I've been lousy company. I'm not so far gone as to deny that fact. Fine, lay it on me. I'm listening. Allow me to begin then. When you first entered the Funplex, I had my doubts. But I'm a naturally suspicious person, and thankfully those doubts were easily disproved by your skill and enthusiasm. You came looking for your dream, and found it. I swore to protect that dream, and that promise is what brought me here today. And on your very first day, you went headfirst into the most chaotic situation the Funplex could have offered, a birthday party. You did so without hesitation. When a disruptive parent was screaming at a child over something that wasn't his fault, you stepped right in and dealt with it. Again, no hesitation. Impressive. Since then, you've become an event manager, without goading, without prompting, showing great ambition. You've turned the Funplex's fortunes around, giving your all to promote it. You've made your dream a reality. For years, I was supposedly in charge of the Funplex, but really, all I accomplished was shuffling numbers around. You are the one who helped it soar. And for that, you have my thanks. You are an exceptional individual. That fact remains true, regardless of whether you can see it for yourself. I might cry by the end of this. Me next! Remember when I screwed up and didn't tell you about the opening of the job? Oh my god, I can't read. Can't read and I can't speak today. Remember when I screwed up and didn't tell you about the job opening at my office? You weren't mad. Not even a little bit. Not even like quietly mad, like you could have been.
That's for life.
I know I can count on you, and you can count on me. Even when one of us makes a mistake, it can never shake that friendship apart. When I came to you wondering if I should leave that job I hated, you told me to follow my dreams. You gave me great advice, and I've never been happier. I followed suit and chased my own dream. You inspire me.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Ben and Matt. I might be crying by the end of this. Are we fashionably late? Ben, Matt, in the flesh.
What if?
Unless this world is a vast simulacrum. Wait. That we're all just brains in jars? Could be.
Well, isn't that something?
Well, if that's the case, Shroud is the cutest little brain in a jar we have never actually met. True. And he brought so many cute dates to our little shop. So nervous at first, but in time he became part of the Twin Pines Mall family. Dearly missed. Oh, don't remind me. Our new neighbors are so boring. They never come in for a treat or a read. Speaking of treats, we brought cake. We'll just be over there getting the goodies ready. Don't mind us. Ooh, cake. I mean, my turn. Shroud, you were a true friend of the Funplex.
Frustrating.
Unlike the bastard who owns it now. Positivity, Naomi. We're emphasizing positivity today. Right.
Wonderful.
Remember back at Donnerwood when we found those kittens? You helped me save them. You're not just a friend of arcade games, but of all living things. Not that arcade games are alive, of course. I chose not to mention Polybius. You asked Francine nicely for her blanket, which really helped out. I know you're not happy with how things turned out. I'm not really happy about it either. It sucks. But we did good things together in the time we had.
Hamza has arrived.
Hamza! You're late. An event truly does not begin until Hamza makes his presence felt.
My blood burns.
Shroud, Hamza understands your fury. The hated enemy of all who loves our cave had despoiled your funplex. However, in our short time together, I saw a burning spirit in you, and I accepted your offer for Zombie Meltdown, recognizing that passion within you. Hamza would be shamed forever if he did not intervene and raise your spirits to new heights, and that is what he shall do. Ooh, cake. Excuse me a moment. Now I want cake. When do I get cake? Soon, but I have things to say first. Things that will hopefully inspire you to be a happy clam instead of a grumpy Gus. I'm a happy clam now, see? See how I clam happily? Can I have cake? From our first day at the Funplex together, you've been supportive of me, even after I gave you quite the scare with Pinky. You didn't let that bother you, and from that moment, we've tackled many a crisis on the Funplex floor together.
Amazing.
I've adored when we concoct hypothetical adventures on our own downtime. You're amazingly fun to be around. You work so hard to make the Funplex Rising successful. I've watched you put your blood, sweat, and tears into that, and in the end, when it all came together, it came together just how you planned. As the floor attendant on duty during Funplex Rising, I got to see firsthand all the smiles you brought to all those people. You rocked it. I saw you helping that customer when their game crashed. Losing your high score due to faulty electronics is no fun, but you dealt with it and made that person's day. Even problem players like Steve were no problem for you. You took on the weirdest and most annoying problems without breaking a sweat. Incredible. You made the Funplex a fun place to be for everyone. For the staff, for the casual and pro gamers, for the families, for me. I can honestly say that when you took over doing events at the Funplex, we've never had more fun. They've just been the best, all thanks to you. Ooh, I forgot we still have cake. Need some of that. Just when I thought the speaking was done, a lull in the wake intervention, the most important person to me takes a step forward. My heart swells as he begins. Oh, this is where I'm going to start crying. Above all, you're my dearest love, Shroud. I'd assumed that love was outside the scope of my life, that I couldn't possibly burn someone with my short years in that way. You taught me that I still have much to live for. I don't know how long we have together, but happy or sad, angry or glad, I fully intend to live out those days with you. All of us love you, in one way or another, and I'll carry on loving you. Past this intervention and beyond, count on it. I'm speechless. Seems Shroud has some thinking to do. I'm gonna fucking cry. Percy's so tall, and he's so sweet, and this is like, I don't know why I needed this today, but God, I needed this today. It sucks. God, losing your fucking job, being in the process of losing your job sucks. This is pretty normal for him, when he gets that far away look. Shall we begin the wake for Francine then? There's cake and coffee and spirits from the bar. Cake! As if in slow motion, I watch them all switch their attention from me and direct it towards the refreshments. They're all smiling, conversing, and serving cake to each other. None for me, thank you. Watching the blood sugar. Fuck me, this cake is amazeballs. All we need now are some rockin' tunes to get this party on the next level. All of them, processing it and getting a way better gig. Right? Oh, all of them, here to support me. Even without the Funplex. Even after everything going wrong. After Francine being taken from us too soon. I never really thought of myself as central in all this. I was the outsider at first. The one who walked in those doors looking for a job. Nothing more. I've always been on the outside, honestly. Moving from town to town, always the new kid. Never really important to anyone. Not until I'd settled in one place just long enough to get to know Juniper. But by then, I'd come to expect that I'd never be happy. So when I finally was happy, and that got taken away. This is so well written, Grimoire. And it's a beautiful game. It will make you cry. Like, if you play this earnestly and not trying to be like, I don't know, tongue-in-cheek or like a dick. Like, even just relatable feelings, good God. Relatable feelings for sure. But like, God, this one visual novel has always, like, gutted me and then twisted the knife at the end. Not in a bad way, but just like in a, God, this is so emotional. God, this makes me so emotional, you know? Well, I guess I'd assume that's how things go, going with the flow. But now... Oh, I'm literally crying. This game isn't over, not by a long shot. No. No! I refuse to give up. Right here, I have everything I've ever wanted, whether I realize it or not. I've got friends, I've got love, I've got a legacy, proven in their words. I can't mope and stew in my losses. I can't deny the power of what I accomplished, and I will not stop fighting for what I need in life. This game is not over. I'll take a huge fucking slice of that cake, lots of icing. The group looks up when I speak, slightly confused by the declaration, so I walk right up and claim my slice on my own. Sorry, gang. I screwed up and let this drag me down. Won't happen again. We're here to party, right? Let's party. Let's raise a glass high to all that we've done together. Nobody can deny that we're an unstoppable force, with or without a Funplex. Who's with me? Smiles all around. And you know what? It feels good to be back. For the next hour or so, my sadness fades away piece by piece. We share stories, many of which I'd never heard before, about the Funplex and the shenanigans that went on around it. Surprisingly, Ben and Matt spin the most tales about Francine's exploits. They've been neighbors for decades. This so-called wake intervention gives us all a chance to heal and to bond. For all we've lost and all we still have, we're still together. Despite one little problem, which nobody wants to talk about. The hour grows late, and we have only rented this place for the afternoon. I can feel it in the air, that unspoken worry. Will we see each other again? No doubt we can arrange more get-togethers, but they'd be all reunions over what was lost, not really building anything new. Nostalgia, not progress. Without the Funplex, without Francine, will we eventually simply fall away? That dark little thought troubles me as I swirl my drink, remaining quiet while the others talk. Beep, beep, Shirada? Hey, Iris, what's up? I'm glad you're feeling better. Yeah, me too. I'm glad to. So, do you want me to start finding you a new job? I can search while you're talking with your friends, no problem. I do need to get back to living my life. But what sort of life do I want to live? I want my dream back. I don't just want a new job. I want my dream. My Funplex. Not just 4 walls and a bunch of games, but a community. When I was a lifeguard, I'd saved lives. I made a place safe for people to enjoy the pool with friends. I'm not done with that dream. And more importantly, I don't have to be done with it. All around me are pioneers of this community, this culture, technicians, designers, enthusiasts, investors, people with connections. That's when the idea starts to form. Iris? Can you search for commercial spaces? Ones for lease or rent? Of course. I'm a little search wizard. Why?
Oh, I know.
Oh, I think I get it. I step away from my corner and approach the group. It's time to take back control over my dream, and that starts here. No, I'm not ready for this to end. The crowd hushes when I grab their attention. I set my drinks aside and step up to them. The Funplex was my dream. I've come to see that in time, a wonderful place where friends can have fun together, away from their troubles and cares. I want to keep sharing that dream with you. There's only one way to make that a reality. We open our own arcade. Everyone in this room loved the Funplex and misses it dearly. We'll always miss Francine, but in honor of what we've lost, we do need to keep fighting. I'm ready. Are you? Who will help me start a new dream? I'd be honored to join your dream, Shirada. That Funplex saved me in a lot of ways. I won't let it go so easily. I'd love to join you.
As would I.
Faced with the prospect of spending my remaining days at home or at some other arcade, I'm absolutely in favor, love. I may be a mere customer, but my heart called the Funplex home, and it'll call your new arcade home as well. You've got my thanks, both of you. Okay, so this is no longer a wake intervention, people. Now it's a conspiracy.
A Victor conspiracy.
Yes, Ashley, a Waker conspiracy. It's a Waker conspiracy, sure, why not? We settled down around a table, a nice round one, to discuss the future. I'm leading the show, but I don't take the spotlight, not this time. We all have to work together to make this dream a reality. This is it. The next few decisions are going to be critical in shaping the future I have in my mind's eye. I need to choose very, very carefully because there's no take-backsies. Iris is looking for spaces we can use, but we're going to need money, obviously, and arcades are risky startups. I could always respond to one of the many Nigerian princes emailing me amazing offers, but I'm thinking more traditional funding is safer. The way I see it, there's 4 people here who could foot the bill to get us off the ground. Hamza, you've got a tangled web of connections in the industry, access to games, and plenty of cash, and a freewheeling whimsy to spend it.
Hamza must consider this.
Hamza is a man of resources indeed. Percy, you've been building a charity war chest for when you pass. I know an arcade isn't a sound investment and is hardly a charity, but you promised me Mr. Moopy would always have a home. If I can help restore that home, I'm game, love. Ben and Matt, you two know how to run a small business. You've got invaluable knowledge and resources we could draw from, if you're willing to dip a toe in this industry. We have been looking for new horizons to conquer, new lands to explore,
There would be caveats,
Terms,
conditions,
exemptions.
rules,
guidelines,
best practices.
worst practices.
That's not a thing.
Oh,
Oh,
Hamza would likewise have conditions. As would I.
yeah. Understandable, of course. Let me hear your thoughts, then I'll decide. Decision 1. Funding and direction. In order for me to back your play, Hamza would require you to strike at the very heart of Dekonami's empire. Oh, and open a family restaurant alongside your arcade. Take it from him, the very business he adores so much. We don't know the first thing about running a restaurant. Thankfully, your business partner does. I own several restaurants and would provide staffing and resources.
No risk, no reward.
I know this is a risky play, but if it succeeds, the reward shall be tremendous. Actually, that's similar to what Matt and I had in mind. Oh yes, but rather than a restaurant, well, we'd like to open up our arcade. I've always wanted to run a bar. I'd raise a glass to that idea. After all, sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. Now, it wouldn't be nearly as large scale as a family restaurant, much safer. Not quite as profitable, but still tidy. Honestly, I'd prefer if you simply ran a video arcade and nothing more. Adding on extra seems like a recipe for failure. We know how to run and operate a small-scale arcade, so why not stick with our strengths? Granted, it has a lower ceiling for success than the others. It's just an arcade, and won't pull in anybody looking for more. Low risk, low reward. But I'd say that would be my condition. We need to stick to the basics. Oh. So I've always picked Percy, and I'm always going to pick Percy, because that's why what's my dream? Percy, we'll make the finest video arcade ever. I'd like to stick to our core strengths. We know how to operate an arcade, so let's operate an arcade. Percy, I'd be honored if you lend your aid to that. Wonderful. I'm looking forward to working with you. It would be a wonderful legacy to leave, would it not? I suppose asking you to reach for the stars was a bit much, but we'll still support you, whatever may come. Hamza admits disappointment, but cannot defy your iron will. Okay, the second thing we need to talk about is what sort of games we want to focus on. The Funplex did a little bit of everything, and we will too. We want to include all gamers, but we can also highlight one style of play or another, really provide best-in-class gaming for a specific audience. Any thoughts? Decision 2, game focus.
Sweet.
Retro games. It's all got to be about retro games. You know I'm capable of keeping those older games in tip-top shape. If we focus on retro games, we could serve an audience that Deco's completely ignoring. I would agree with Miss Fairchild. Retro games are an untapped market. I'll grant it wouldn't pull in as much profit, but we know gamers are seeking them. We won't have to make all the money, just enough to keep our pure, untainted dream afloat. And we can do that with a well-curated retro game library.
Nope, no way.
Retro's cool and all, but let's talk esports games. They'll draw money faster than jamming a magnet up your ass and dragging you through Fort Knox. To get a couple of good fighters, more than one FOD, some dance and race games, the kind of stuff where folks can compete head-to-head, and we're golden. I have to agree with Queen Bee. You can play retro games on emulators and consoles, but you can't duplicate the community experience of an arcade at home. If we had an esports focus, we can build something together which works as a second home for all sorts of gamers. I think you know what I'm going to suggest. Redemption and prize games. They provide excellent profits. It's the core of Deco's business model, yes, but I think if we focus on those games and do them right, no predatory pricing, no scams or ripoffs. And the truth is, most people enjoy them. From kids wanting to win that big prize to the wistful adults who are capturing their childhood dreams of playing skee-ball on the boardwalk. They're simple to play and most of all fun. If they're done right, we can make meaningful memories for everyone. And prizes. Did I mention the prizes? We can stock the shelves with the coolest prizes around, better than Deco's prizes, which fall apart 2 minutes after you get them. Which matches my ideal arcade more. We'll have all three, sure, but do we emphasize retro games, esports, or prize games? I'm gonna be going for Percy because, you know, he is my man. Deco thinks that only new games make money. Let's prove him wrong and have the world's greatest retro-style arcade ever. Woohoo! I'm picking out only the best games. Don't worry. Excellent. I'm looking forward to this project. Gotta make Percy happy. Okay, so that's money and games. Now let's go beyond what we already had at the Funplex. Let's really make this something special. New projects. I want a defining feature for our arcade, one which will make it stand out. Something nobody else is doing. Something nobody's even thought of before. All ideas are on the table. If it was too outlandish for the Funplex, it's not too outlandish for me. Show me what you got. Well, I mean, I'm really not a part of this, but come on, you're my best friend and 100% a part of this. Wouldn't be here in this room if it wasn't for you. Go on, Juniper, what's your idea? Branding. I'm freelancing now, which means I could come on board as your personal brand manager. One heck of a consulting gig. An arcade really needs stellar image management to stand out from the rest, like the event poster I made for you.
What if?
Oh, hey Juniper, I can add to that. What if we work together? I was thinking of designing a new mascot costume anyway. But I could collaborate and coordinate with you on how it will tie into the visuals for the rest of the arcade.
Yes.
Yes, it's a winning combination. Ashley and I can do great work together with some really stellar branding and marketing. We'll stand out in the crowd. Hell, I know exactly what sort of project I want us to do. Streamer support. Assembling and packing away my streaming rig each day is ridiculous, and duct taping a webcam in front of a screen is a lousy hack. If I could just step right up to the game, and I don't know, swipe a card or something and be streaming with a direct feed in seconds, well, I can think of a dozen streamers who just flock to our place to get a piece of that.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I know how we could do that. I could rig up a general purpose daughter board, which plays man in the middle with the video feed, works with an RFID reader to get a streamer's info, ties into a central video encoder on the Wi-Fi network. Yeah, I can make that happen, and without damaging any classic hardware. Once more in English, please. I know software, not hardware. We stick a thingy in the thingy and everything works just fine. I'm sure there's some legal and copyright issues to tackle, but if we can do it, let's be the world's first streaming arcade. I was thinking, well, if the reason why older games are considered a dead end is that they don't work in the ticket game ecosystem, why not add ticket output to normal games? We could reward skilled players with prize tickets based on their high scores or speed of completion. With the right balancing, we can make old games just as desirable as new ones.
Perhaps.
As Naomi said, there may be legal hurdles to clear, but I'm in favor of this idea. It's not that I love prize games. I find them boring, personally. You know I favor pinball, but profit is the lifeblood of an arcade, and prize games are profitable. If we can get movies producing tickets, well, that's something nobody's ever done before. We'd have the money or time for that. Let's just focus on one to launch our arcade with. Do we really want to have good branding, or streamer support, or retro tickets on an old game? You know, The fact that like Teo wasn't even here for this, I for, like this round, I'm like, ugh. I might go Percy and Gavin. I really might go Percy and Gavin. Let's go Percy and Gavin. I might like literally do all this later, just for my own sanity and see what this comes up with. It's a best of both worlds thing, having modern ticket gaming integrated into classic games. Not a casino, but a genuine way to reward achievement and hard work. Whatever you need to make that happen, do it. The upfront cost may be a bit much, and I have a lot of legal tape to cut through, but I think we can make it happen. Thank you. New lifeblood in the retro scene, drawing new eyes to older games. I'm looking forward to the results. One more thing. Final decision. The name. If this is going to be my baby, my dream arcade, I've got a name already in mind for it. So, barring any objections, I'd like to welcome you all to Arcade Spirits. Arcade Spirits. Is that right? That works. Arcade Spirits. Let's go. Let's call it Arcade Spirits. Arcade Spirits. I like it. We can work with that. Let's hear it for Arcade Spirits. Our home lives again. How exciting. Fuck yeah. A toast then? One by one, everyone raised their glasses. I fetched my room temperature drink and raised mine high in turn. Ooh. Together we can accomplish anything. I know that together we can accomplish anything. For Arcade Spirits and the future. For Arcade Spirits. This is fun. I forgot how much fun I had with this game. Losing everything and getting it all back, and then some. It's been a roller coaster of a week, to be sure, but I can't rest now. Absolutely not. I need to take charge of this project, and my life in general. I have to do for them what Francine did for us. That's okay. I'm ready. I'm willing. And this is our time. It's the end of the chapter, isn't it? Yep. You've cleared level 6 of Arcade Spirits. A winner is you. Now let's see your score. You're proving to be a sweet, gentle, and compassionate soul. And you've also scored 21,250 points. Woohoo! Shops in the volcano devastated city of Pompeii bear the characteristics of a pizzeria. That's a neat, if a bit depressing, pizza fact just for you. Do you want to save your game before proceeding to level 7? Yes. Save the game. Cool. So, yeah. I think that's where we're going to end it for tonight, because I am a sobbing emotional mess. And let's go find somebody to raid. Because I don't know who's streaming right now, but we can probably go say hello to a friend or two. Maybe a friend. Because that's how raiding works. I should probably say that out loud. But let's see who's streaming, what people are playing tonight, and go say hello to somebody. But thank you guys so much for hanging out, friends. I love you all so much. I hope you enjoyed this chapter of Arcade Spirits. Let's go say hello. Ooh. Let's go say hello to Cardwiz. And they're playing Sakura Wars. Let's go say hello to them. Hope they're doing well. And I hope you guys all have a good night, friends. I'll see you next time. Tomorrow we're going to be going back to Digimon World Next Order on Digimonday. And I hope you guys have a good week. But let's go say hello to our good friend Cardwiz. I will see you guys throughout the week, hopefully. And if not, I hope you have a great weekend. And I hope you guys are all enjoying your time, having a good one. And I'll see you all soon. Much love, my friends, and enjoy the raid. I'll see you over there.